Welcome to your daily astrology chat. This is where we chit chat everything astrology, and I'm going to go over the astrology chart for the day and just see what's going on, what's happening. So I'm going to go over the major planetary transits and aspects, and we'll probably cast out a little bit for the week. If you want to know specifically your zodiac sign, weekly astrology forecast, that is for you. That is on my channel. Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, you just came up. So everybody will get once a week. Everybody will get their own zodiac reading. So I hope you guys get to see that. And that's it. Yeah, pretty much. We're here to chit chat. If you want me to answer personal questions or even pull cards for you, I will do that if you are a member. There is a channel membership here now. So if you want that kind of thing, if you want to be able to do that, then definitely grab that membership to the channel. If not, we're just here to chit chat. We're just here to chit chat about the astrology. What's up, Big Gucci Soldier Mike? What's up, man? How you doing? If you want to participate in the chat, you have to be a subscriber. So please remember to subscribe to this channel and then ring that notification bell so that you know when I go live, because that's basically the only way that you'll know when I go live. I don't think a lot of people are getting these notifications because I don't think the notifications are going out. There's like 3 notifications that have gone out today. Hold on. We're on March. Where are we? We're not March 17th yet. No, this is the Friday before. We are on March 10th. So Saturn, Mercury, the Sun, and Neptune are all in Pisces. And Jupiter, Chiron, and Venus are still in Aries. That will change, absolutely, by Thursday of next week. Venus will go into Taurus, which is its home. She's coming back home, baby. She has a spring home and a fall home. She has Taurus for the spring, and she has Libra for the fall. So, us ladies, we got to have our wardrobes, and so she's at her spring residence now. She'll be very happy there. That doesn't happen yet. Right now, everything is pretty much the same as it was yesterday. Mars is still in a square to the Sun and Neptune. The Sun is conjunct Neptune now, which is a very, like I said, creative energy. It can also be I don't know. It's usually faithful, like finding your faith and identifying in your faith identity, and what you believe in and discovering it and getting closer to your God space. What is it? I just broke up with my Libra. I got you. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't listen, breakups are hard. So day by day, step by step, try not to eat too much ice cream. But yeah, I know breakups suck. It's kind of like losing a loved one. So FYI, that's just I get it. I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad you're hanging out. I'm absolutely glad. We got the ice cream. Listen, it's going to happen. Okay. I mean, especially, I don't know. No, you said, just broke up with my Leo Libra. Gotcha. So I'm sending out hugs to you, Mike. I'm sending out hugs because I know every once in a while you need it, Oh boy. Oh no, it's Friday, dude. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling Friday. I don't know how else to say it. Let's see. No major transits today. No major transits, no big, huge aspects. The moon is conjunct the south node, which could give us a little bit, especially people who are heavily influenced by the moon, Cancerians in particular. It could give you a kind of a heavier feeling, not a heavy feeling, but like a cozy feeling. You just feel like really getting cozy, really getting comfortable. Really like craving comfort, like comfort food, things that make you cozy, things that make you comfortable. stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty much as it was. We have Venus and Mars still sextile. I love that energy. I think it's really flirtatious and sexy. And then we have Uranus is sextile to Mercury. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really powerful one. Bright, clever, on point, exceptional ideas, just opportunity to have exceptional ideas. And intuitive breakthroughs. That's really interesting. That's a good one. But that's pretty much it. That sextile is crossing swords with the Venus sextile Mars. So we got two very helpful energies in the sky today, and everything else is as it is. The north and south nodes. I think this is really interesting that Pluto is square to the north and south nodes. I think that's really interesting because if anything changes the game and kicks you out of your comfort zone, it's going to be Pluto. So I think a lot of people are getting kicked out of their comfort zone right now, and they're ready to, this would be the time when things will end. It won't even be like when Pluto gets involved. It's like the tower. That's very Plutonian energy. So it's a sense of when Pluto gets involved, you don't have a choice anymore. So I think there are a lot of things that will close down, shut down, and finish. And because it's like it has to. But I feel like with the north and south nodes, it's not global. It's more through the person, right? It's more personal. So there's a sense of all of a sudden being ready to just be done, as opposed to thinking about it or knowing about it or getting away with making excuses so that you don't have to face it. That's not going to happen. When Pluto gets involved with the north and south node, there's a sense of done, finished, that lazy crap is over with, or comfort zones are completed. That sense of like just ruthlessness, like being at a point where you're not taking any more bull crap even from yourself, and certainly other people won't take any bull crap from you. So there could be a lot of endings that are going on right now. Absolutely. And Pluto is going to be square the nodes for a little while. I mean, it's in a loose square to the nodes. Yeah, Pluto. Ooh, look what we got coming up. Pluto is about to enter. In about 2 weeks from now, Pluto enters Aquarius, while it is still technically square to the nodes. Venus will be well into, I mean, we'll get to this energy when it happens, but that's when the sun is going to be in Aries. So is Mercury. Oh, the Mercury and the sun will be in Aries. Jupiter, what I really like now is Jupiter is overtaking Chiron. And what I mean by overtaking, I don't mean like taking control. I mean that right now, Jupiter and Chiron are in perfect conjunction. They're at 14 degrees Aries. So this is going to stress you out, right? It's going to cause at least a little stress if you're a Cancerian. That is Cancer too, like middle of the season Cancer, middle of the season Capricorn. You're both square to this, right? This is going to pose challenges for you. You know, how bad do you want it? Almost. And if you're Libra, if you have like a Libra sun that is the middle of the Libra season, that's usually between October 2nd and October 12th, October 2nd and the 11th, something like that. Yeah, this is the time when that's the opposition. So that's going to blindside you. You know, you kind of have like no ability. You're just going to have to like learn to ride the wave of this, what you're being forced to learn, right? And even though it's a hard pill to swallow, you don't have any other options. You have to swallow this pill. It's essential. But this is the turning point, because Jupiter, up until this point, has been behind Chiron. So it's been on the approach. Now it's coming over. It's at equal territory, they're perfectly conjunct now. And then Jupiter is going to start to move on from Chiron. And And by Tuesday, it'll be at 15 degrees. It'll be 1 degree ahead. And by the beginning of next week, it'll be 2 degrees ahead. And this is when I think, and this is when I think that the tide is going to start to turn when it comes to, how really difficult things have been, how rough things have been. If you've kept working through them, if you've kept pushing through them, if you've kept, insisting on them, if you haven't given up, but you've tried to understand and learn and let these stressful situations educate you, this is where the tide starts to turn and you find yourself more informed and more able to grow as opposed to being stuck. What's up, frogs? How you doing? It's good to have you on here. I got something stuck in my teeth and it's bothering me. So that's kind of what I like, this energy. It might kind of like come to a head right now and feel like it's worse than it ever was, but I don't think so. I think this is when the pimple pops. I think those of you, cardinal signs basically, who have been really influenced or pressured by that energy, this is when the pimple pops. This is when like the sacrifice is made. This is when you get to assess how fruitful it's been, and see how far you've come and what can you get out of this, right? This sense of the pain is at its peak now, and you're sort of just pushing through to get the whole baby out, right? This is when it crowns. And now it's just like from the rest of the time on, you're actually going to be able to, it's not that it's not painful, right? If you've ever given birth, you know that it's not just when the baby crowns, like getting the head out, you still got the shoulders, you still got the afterbirth, you still got a ways to go, but at least now you see it. When you first go into labor, it's just you're pushing, and it doesn't feel like, well, I mean, maybe you can kind of feel it, but there's so much pain that you not seeing any progress makes the pain even worse, because it feels even worse. It feels like nothing is happening for all this pain. And I think that that's what's been happening with the conjunction between Jupiter and Chiron. It's like right now, when Jupiter was behind Chiron, it just felt like the pain was getting worse. I don't necessarily mean physical pain, though in Aries it could have just meant progress, to try to get ahead, to try to like start something new. It's just a bunch of challenges, like nothing but challenges. And you don't really see anything happening to show that it's been worth it. And so it has been an act of faith to keep going. Now is when the tide starts to turn and you start to see, oh, there's the head. At least I know from this point on, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm still in pain, but I can see that something is coming from this. And by the end of April, the baby will be out. You'll actually be able to be like, oh, I can hold this beautiful thing in my hand and it was worth it. Right. And now is that turning point when you're finally able to start to see that something is coming. It's not just concept, right? It's not, I'm doing all this work, I'm struggling for nothing. That's not what's happening. No, now you're going to start to see it's crowning. It's crowning. It's still got a ways to go. All right. The head isn't even out yet, but you see it. You see, oh, I haven't been doing this for nothing, which in and of itself relieves the stress. It relieves the pain a little bit. It's kind of like that when you're going up the roller coaster. And that's it's the stress is building. You're going on a roller coaster. You're prepared for all this, but there's some things you can't really prepare yourself for. And it's like the buildup. And this is when you come over the top and you don't see anything on the other side, right? You're just like, oh, this is a holy shit moment where you're like, what did I get myself into? But you're about to feel that release of, okay, this is the thrill ride I signed up for, right? That's what's happening right now in this next week. So that's a really important transit and something to really pay attention to, especially for Cancer 2s, Capricorn 2s, and Libra 2s, though you will all feel it. This energy, if the energy is squared to your natal sun, or it's an opposition to your natal sun, or your ascendant to some degree, because it is partially what is visible, right? What people see. It's almost like, like what you see being reflected in what everybody else can see. Finally, it's like you've been trying to tell people that this is true. now they're going to start to see, everybody's going to start to see signs of life. So it could be very, very true for your natal signs, your ascendant signs, your moon signs that just feel like it would be a relief at this point. Like you'll start to feel some emotional relief. The stress will at least seem worth it at this point. So, but that's especially for those cardinal signs who are experiencing the square. So that's Cancer or Capricorn, or the opposition, which is Libra. For those of you who are fire signs, this has been a beautiful time. And I think that you have been really, really in tune. There's, it would be middle of the season, Sagittarius or Leo, because your natal sun would be trine to this energy. So there's sort of a harmony with it, or an understanding of it, or a sensibility of it that gives you peace. Or maybe in some ways you're even happy about the stress. Like there's something pleasant. You already know something pleasant is coming from all of this like extreme pressure. Yeah. That's it. That's all I really got to say about that. Uranus and Mercury are sextile. Fantastic. And that's pretty much it. It's just interesting that, no, it's pretty much it. There's a lot of tides that are turning. I want you to keep going. I want you to keep understanding and knowing that things are not only going to get better, they're getting better as I speak to you. You know, the pressure was definitely on in the beginning of this year, and those people who busted their butts and have sacrificed and have worked really hard and have made the hard choices and decided to move forward. And there is risk involved, but it's not stupid risk. This would be calculated risk. It's you guys that are actually going to start really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's going to be a beautiful view once you get there, and you will get there. It's almost like you're locked in right now. The roller coaster's locked you in. Just throw your hands in the air. It's in faith. You're in it now. Keep going, because you ride this to the end and you're going to be where you want to be. What's up, Cookies? Hey, Cookies Mama. What's up? God, I got something stuck in my tongue. It's irritating. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. That's the astrology of the day. Got to see where a bunch of other stuff is at before I make some choices and decisions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll see. At this point, I honestly think that if you find yourself having to let go of something, even though for the most part, if like letting go is difficult, I think at this point you'll be prepared. Like the difficulty has been so clear that letting go will be something that will happen naturally. It will occur naturally at this point. And in some ways, in a lot of situations, it will actually be welcome. So if you have been holding on to something and struggling to accept the ending of it, I feel like you're not gonna struggle that much anymore. You're actually gonna feel like a relief in a way of, okay, now, like, thank God it's over. I don't want it to continue. This was kind of crazy stuff, so I don't want it to keep going. Yeah, it's a maturity in a way. It is a beautiful, peaceful maturation of, okay, I understand why that had to happen. You know, I understand why it had to be so tough. I also understand why it was so valuable for me to go through what I went through. Like all of those things are happy experiences that are coming out of this energy. And as we experience it in our life, I mean, it depends on which aspects of your life you're experiencing it in. I mean, in terms of the chart, what house is Aries? Right? For me, Aries is my 7th house. I can't say that I've been going through anything that is extremely like in terms of partnerships. I haven't seen anything really changing with me. but it hasn't been all of this has been in direct opposition to my natal ascendant. Actually, no, because my natal ascendant is not in Libra too. Oh, no, it is. It's toward the end. It's kind of at Libra 3. So actually, Venus is in direct opposition to my natal ascendant right now. But all of this has been happening in direct square to my natal sun and Jupiter. For me, in my natal chart, my sun and Jupiter is conjunct, which is actually a really arrogant energy. You expect way too much all the time, right? You just expect to have way too much of an impression on people that you may not be making, and it's something that you struggle with. It really is. It's hard energy to like wrangle. And this is squaring it. This is almost like saying, yeah, maybe you're not as good as you thought you were. You have to work harder to be as good as you want to be, or you want everybody else to think you are. So you have to work even harder. And, where's your sacrifice? Where's your struggle? But at the same time, there is such benefits on the other side of, okay, I'm not going to give up. And I know you expect me to give up and fail by default, but I'm not going to. So a lot of good things could be coming from that, but it hasn't been the easiest period for me. It really hasn't. This has been tough because of where my ascendant and my sun is. I gotta get that out of my tooth. You know when someone's sucking your tooth and you're just like, I gotta get that out. Hey ADT, what's up? How you doing? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Mike. So, what do we got from Mars? Mars is square to the Sun conjunct Neptune. That'll just get worse when Mercury comes in. I think. I just think it may be very difficult. I think there's a lack of patience in some ways. It's almost a sense of a lack of patience, or maybe that I feel like it is. There could just also be so much going on in your head and you being able to see or appreciate so many different things. It's hard to take action or make sense of just one. I feel like with that energy in the air right now, it's a better time to look than it is to decide. It's a better time to take in information than it is to use it. Because that square will make it very challenging. I mean, I don't see anything too horrible going on though. And I guess I shouldn't be looking for something horrible, right? And Saturn is trying to Saturn is trying to the south node, which means it's sextile to the north node. That's interesting. Saturn in Pisces now is sextile to the north node and trying to the south node, whereas Pluto is square to them both. Yeah, that's what I think. I think we're happy to grow up. We're ready. We're ready to do more mature things. And whatever stage of your life that is, that's what I mean. At your 16, you're not going to act like a 55-year-old, but it's a sense of something sobering, welcoming that sense of I get to make a decision. I get to put these boundaries in. I get to set this cornerstone in. Realizing that I have to, right? And really working that out while simultaneously accepting, the change has got to happen, and I'm going to figure out that I'm not in control of the change or in control of the push, but I am definitely in control with how I respond to it. Once again, I really like this energy. Hi, ADT. I really like this energy. So that's what I see going on right now. I gotta get that out of my teeth. It's bugging me. It's just bugging me. It's bugging me. You can't really see anything. I'm like, you can't really see anything, but it's bugging me. So if I had anything to tell you, I have anything else? I don't really have anything else. I'm going to go over to Born Without Boundaries now. and read some tarot over there. Yeah, I haven't been on there for a while. I'm on here all the time. Remember, guys, if you want me to, yeah, you remember there's a membership to this channel now. If you want to purchase it, go ahead. And that's it. There might be a big announcement coming over this weekend. If so, it'll be on Born Without Boundaries Tarot, just to summarize things. And Born Beyond Boundaries, I don't know what that is. I don't have a Born Beyond Boundaries mic. I have a Born Without Boundaries. Is that what you meant? Yep. Okay. So I love you guys, and hopefully I'll see you soon.